Hello, everybody. It's both an honor and a privilege to pay tribute to Robert Red NESSER Ahava Shalom on his long overdue enshrinement into the Deal YMSL Hall of Fame. Red is arguably the best player in the 45-year history of the league, with 9 championships and numerous MVPs and Cy Youngs. Growing up, I didn't really know Red that well. I mean, I knew he was a little bit eccentric, to say the least. He lived in Bradley Beach. He wore jeans when he played softball. He cooked them jeddah every night, and he drove an old Cadillac limousine.
NESSER, game 1, winning pitcher for Smack Pack. Red, whoever would have thought? You started out the season 0-2, now you're in a first-place tie, and they want to run you out of town, but looks like they're talking Cy Young now.
Well, Elliot said that I'm washed up, so I had to get going. And we did. The team is playing good.
Boy, when you think about Red NESSER, you can only have a smile on your face. Red, he epitomized having fun, playing ball, and that's really what he lived for. So anything around Red was always warm, it was always fun, and definitely always provided a lot of laughter.
Guy was just an athlete. Back then, the ball players in softball were not the athletes like they are today. This guy, Red, was running through the fence at first base for foul pops, diving headfirst into the bases, hitting the ball in Phillips Field into the street in right field, picking up throws in the dirt like it was nothing. And I love softball. When I saw him, I said, wow, I want to play just like him, all in, all the time.
Red NESSER was one of the best pitchers, if not the best. He was also one of the best hitters. We played through the 80s, into the 90s, into the 2000s, and he was still one of the best pitchers. He was in great shape. He was strong as a bull, fierce competitor. He was into off-season conditioning before anyone else. He was always into it.
Red was able to throw the ball wherever I put my glove. Inside corner, outside corner, high, low, wherever I put my glove, and with movement. With movement. He was the best I ever caught that year, by far. First one to the field every single week. Last one off the field. Left it all on the field.
Wow, what can I say about Red, man? I'm just so lucky that I got to be in the league and caught the end of his years. I played a lot with him. Played him in the playoffs. I watched him when he was on my dad's team in the World Series. I got really, really lucky to see Red. He was a legend, competitor, and no one loved the game more than him. It's such a shame that he's not here anymore because, you'd see him at every single game. He'd be in the booth with Norman and Sandy.
Just latched onto him immediately, and over the years as I grew up, I became very close with him and tight with him and good friends with him, played with him a few times, won with him one time. And I remember I used to just come home from school at 13, 14, 15 years old and run to Phillips Field, and I'd see him there by himself, running around the bases, sliding, throwing the ball in the air, running to catch it himself and diving for it.
He had a truck tire in his backyard in Bradley Beach that he'd take swings against, throw pitches against. I remember taking the bus home from Asbury Park High School with my friends, coming down Ocean Avenue, passing the Deal Casino, and in the middle of November, we'd see Red running the bases at Phillips Beach, practicing sliding, getting into shape. He loved baseball. He loved YMSL.
Oh, that's true. How about you in the field? It looks like you're a little itching to bat a little bit.
Yeah, I think I really should be batting. I do. Don't you?
Yeah, I think you should have.
I met Red when I was 15 years old. I used to go watch my dad, Alev Echelon, play when the league was first formed. And I was drawn to Red because watching him play, the passion for the game was like crazy. You can tell this guy slept, drank, and ate softball, and it showed on the field. We bonded about a year later, where then he would pick up my friends and I all the time to go play on Phillips Avenue to practice softball. We later played together on teams. We won championships. We hung out. We had fun. It's just a unique individual, that's for sure.
I'm honored to speak about Red NESSER Ahava Shalom, the greatest player of all time, for YMSL history. I watched and played softball with Red for over 40 years. He was the best. Preparation and heart. I cherish the times I was riding to the airport with him. Every detail of every play of Sunday's game. It was great. I won a championship with Old School. It's great to win with him. I lost a championship with him in the finals in Crunch. He never blamed anyone. He always focused on the positives.
I had the great opportunity of playing with Red a few times in my career. I'll never forget on Smack Pack, I was maybe 18 or 19 years old. Just the way, and I think this is true throughout, just the way he always wanted to make people better around him and their knowledge of the game. I remember as a youngster, the way he would look at me if I did something wrong, the way he would want to talk to me and teach me.
Terrible team. We were like 1-6 or 1-5. And we lost the first game of a doubleheader. And I remember we were sitting on the bleachers and joking around, you know. We were 16, not taking it as serious as we needed to. And I remember Leo Petrotto pulled out a phone, and he was either texting or on a phone call, in between games, mind you. But Red got very upset that we weren't taking it seriously enough, and he fired a package of crackers at Leo, in only the way that Red could do it.
And somebody was smoking a cigarette on the sidelines, and Red just didn't stand for that. He would scream out, "No smoking during the game, no smoking!" And this particular day, the player didn't listen to him. All of a sudden, you see Red. He takes out his crackers, his peanut butter crackers, as he's eating them, and starts pegging them at the player, telling him, "No smoking! Put out your cigarette!" And he threw about 6 of them till the player finally put out his cigarette.
You know, it kind of really taught us about, you know, how serious people take the league, and how important it is.
It just shows you that was the passion that Red played with. He used to come to the field, and like I said, his competitive nature was unmatched. I mean, he spanned generations. He played with my dad's era, and I remember, I mean, we saw him at the tail end of his career, and he was still so effective.
And for 3 hours, once a week, you know, to really put the focus into it. And I think, you know, in the last 16 years, you know, however many years I've played, I don't think I've ever taken out my phone.
About certain things about the game. I'll never forget that. A true winner, a true champion, an amazing guy to have in our league for so many years, on and off the field. And I'll never forget the way he used to park his car right behind the backstop at Memorial 1, facing towards the exit, but right behind the field. And you'd go up to him and say, "Red, why are you parking here?" And he would say, I have a Newark airport run. I don't have time to walk to the parking lot." Just, that was Red, a living legend, an amazing guy. No one will ever forget the way he took a salt bath before every game. He used to pop his 3-4 Advil before every game, and put his sunblock on his nose. Just an awesome guy that's really, really missed, but it's so appropriate that he's being enshrined in the YMSL Hall of Fame, and his name will live on forever, no doubt.
I told him, I said, "Red, I can't believe how hard you threw this year. Unbelievable," when we won the World Series. He told me, "I could have threw much harder, but you don't wear a chest protector or shin guards, so I had to dial it back." That was Red. Not only was he an amazing pitcher and an amazing teammate, he cared about everybody. Unbelievable, unbelievable guy.
Describe him in one word: forget about a ball player. As a human being, just kind.
Incredible athlete, passionate to no end. I can't say enough about Red. He was your best friend at all times. And I miss him.
What?
I'll give you $10 to lob the ball. I need hits.
And I need more. Anyway, that's bribery. I can't do that.
Okay, make it 20.
Okay. So tell me.
We don't charge him for the leagues. So I said, "What does that mean?" "What do you mean? Why did he goes, "You know, they don't charge him. He's good for the league. He's a great player." So I called Red. I said, "Red, I want to welcome you into the league. We're really excited to have you. Just one thing, Red, the dues are $200, and you know, I can meet you up somewhere in Bradley or something to pick up the money." Dead silence. "Red, you still with me? Red?"
Maybe. What do you look for the rest of the year?
Heavy in the
No, you look great. Just asking Red. Season started 0-2. There was a little turmoil in the team. The team turned it around in first place. What do you think?
I told him the word retirement. I was going to retire him until he picked it all up, giving Nathan Towell's kids lollipop pitches. How many games did he win in a row?
8 out of 9.
Unbelievable. Red Ness is the key to the team.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's a legend forever. And, he started softball in this community.
We all know Red Ness Alav Shalom is synonymous with the YMSL. I remember being a young teenager leaning on the fence at Phillips Avenue Field, watching this young Red Nesser with his patented dungarees launching moonshot after moonshot out onto the streets. And in those days, not many can reach the streets. He played the game the way it was supposed to be played, with heart, with passion, and simply for the pure love of the game. It was only later on in his career that he turned to pitching, and he excelled at that too, with that southpaw windup.
As a young kid, I used to go to the field with my father. We used to get there pretty early. I don't think there was ever a time that we got there where Red wasn't on Dow Avenue pitching against the school, against the brick school. I remember that left-handed sidearm rotation, unbelievable.
Robert Red Nesser. You wore number 6. They called you Red. I'm wearing a red shirt with the number 6. A lot of World Series championships won with Red. We used to run to Phillips Field to watch him hit home runs in the street. Red was a character. May you rest in peace.
Red had a weakness for wrestling. He's a very big wrestling fan. And if you told him wrestling was fake, or you started screaming Bob Backlund at him, he was a big Bob Backlund fan, and you told him wrestling was fake, he got very, very angry, took it very, very seriously. So he knew we were going to get on him. We were playing him in the playoffs. And Maxie and I show up, and we said we're going to go after him. And sure enough, Red has cotton balls in his ears. Both ears have cotton balls. You see the cotton sticking out.
Red, why don't you look at it like this? You haven't paid in 20 years. So you pay $200. It costs you $10 a year to play softball in the league. Isn't it worth it? He goes, I haven't thought of it like that.
And that's the way he pitched that day. And I remember there was actually a pop-up to the infield, and he didn't know what was going on. And his whole team is screaming, I got it, I got it. But because he had cotton balls in his ears, he didn't know what was happening. And they almost crashed into him. And that's the story about Red that I remember, and that's why he deserves to be in the YMSL Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
If you ever go to these old videos, he's at every game. He does the color commentating. Was just such a character, such a legend, and we miss him. He deserves this honor, and nobody really is more deserving of it. Red was the league. It's hard to talk about YMSL and Deal Softball League without talking about Red.
But bottom line is, you can't say the acronym YMSL without thinking about Red Nesser. There is no Hall of Fame if you don't have Red Nesser in there. So I'm happy to see Red get in, and he was a great player, great inspiration for the league. Basically everything that YMSL stands for. And happy to see him getting in this year.
Congrats to Red. He was a major diehard and a legend. Very well deserved. May you rest in peace.
There's really no greater ball player in YMSL history. You're talking about a guy who loved playing baseball. He knew the game inside out. This is a guy who was the best pitcher that I've ever seen, throwing as a left-hander. But as my father was telling me, he was one of the best hitters too. So you're talking about a best all-around ball player in YMSL history. Loved playing with his best friend Jackie Haddad. He grew up in Bradley Beach, always playing ball. You'd always see him on the front yard playing catch or hitting the ball out to whoever would play with him. Just a student of the game, loved the game. Just want to take this opportunity again to wish his family, his friends of Robert Red Nesser Allah Shalom, Mabruk, well-deserved honor and well-deserved to be in Cooperstown.
Red, I know you're looking down on us, and we miss you, we love you, and we welcome you to the Hall of Fame.
Red Nesser Abusuro, and what a hitter he was. What a hitter he was. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. He was a phenomenal hitter and a phenomenal pitcher.
He was the Pete Rose of our league. I love you all, and you picked the right man to be in there. Thank you.
He's a no-brainer Hall of Famer. He's a good friend who will be missed, but will never be forgotten.
It's a real honor and one of the highlights of my career to vote to induct Robert Red NESSER into the YMSL Hall of Fame. We love you, Red.
Red NESSER is one of the greatest players to play in the YMSL in the past 45 years. He is a legend and rightfully deserves the highest honors. Congratulations, Red, entering into the Hall of Fame. You sure deserve it. I think I speak for all when I say we miss you, both on the field and off the field. Rest in peace, Red.
But we miss him. He was the face of the league, and he lived for the league, and you know, we were his family, and you know, he was just unbelievable. He was it's unfortunate he couldn't be with us, but to celebrate this occasion. But we'll always have him in mind, and he's always be in everybody's hearts. Thank you very much.